You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about the Browns. I said the other day I liked the Spencer Fanu pick at 9. Didn't love it if it would have been at 6 because I think he's a guard. I know they're talking up Fano as a tackle. I think this is just like Will Campbell. The arms are too short and eventually be exposed. That said, doesn't mean Campbell, doesn't mean Fano can't be one of the best guards in the league. If he turns out to be a Pro Bowl guard for 5 out of 12 years, he was worth a 9th pick. All right. So I would not poo-poo the Browns draft. I did not like Casey Concepcion at 24 until they took Denzel Boston. And when they did that, I went, okay, I would have flipped it. I would have taken Boston first and seen if I could have got KC at 39. So that was a calculated risk. It worked out. I can't fault the Browns. They had a good draft. I like I like the tackle they grabbed. They got themselves a guy that looks like a good second tight end. They made some picks. So far, they've gotten the highest grade of any team out there that I've seen outside of there's some that's given the Jets a higher grade, some that's given the Giants a higher grade, but the Browns are right there as an A or A minus among everybody. But one of the things we talked about was the fact that Andrew Berry, the Browns, liked themselves some Ty Simpson. I kept saying, the Ty Simpson thing is real. Well, that seems to have been confirmed. And from what I have taken from this article, this is from a reporter, a senior NFL reporter, Jory Epstein. No relation, I hope. Senior NFL reporter for Yahoo Sports. All right. Looks like USA Today and Dallas Morning News. This reporter, this journalist, this insider, was in the draft room for the first round for the Cleveland Browns. They were in there. And this is a good article. They go through how they got trade offers. Joe Warrior is the tight end they got. I like him. Justin Jefferson at 149, Alabama linebacker. I liked it. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, good God, at 58, it could be the steal of the draft. So, this is where it gets interesting. The question that will linger is the Browns' answer at quarterback, as it does over every team in the league without a high-caliber player at the position who's produced consistently and recently. Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson split first-team reps at minicamp last week. Sanders receiving more snaps than Watson. But do the short and long-term answers at quarterback lie in either the 2025 fifth-round pick or the returning from an Achilles tear quarterback on whom the Browns once spent 3 first-round picks and a third-rounder and a fourth? Good God. To acquire him. It goes on to basically say Dylan Gabriel's the odd man out. The Browns weren't ignoring the position in the draft so much as understanding the value relative to their evaluations and expectations of the board. Particularly after the Rams selected Ty Simpson at 13th overall. By the way, Haslam exclaimed to the surprise draft room, quote, Andrew knew that a week ago. So Andrew Berry had heard the Rams. So for all the people that think there's a big feud going on inside the Rams building, Andrew Berry had told Jimmy Haslam a week before the Rams are taking Ty Simpson. So that was there was no feud there. The Browns joined 31 other teams in eschewing quarterbacks for the next 51 picks. I mean, that is wild. So, down here, quote, The way we looked at a longer-term planning is, number one, we want to see the players that in that room operate under what I say is like healthier ecosystem for the position. And two, I think it also plays into prospect quality where you have to select them, which quarterbacks you have access to. Going into this year, I thought the thought would be that the 26 class would be really strong at the position. It wasn't as strong probably most around the league anticipated. So you want to stay adaptable with that. You don't want to force it if it doesn't necessarily line up with where your resources are positioned in the current year. Here is the next quote that basically tells you the Cleveland Browns were going to take Ty Simpson at 24 in this draft. Quote, so we're really focused, and particularly when Ty Simpson went off the board, this is a quote, folks. So we really focused, and particularly when Ty Simpson went off the board, we really focused on just the infrastructure around it. And we were really pleased with the players that we selected. They were taking Ty at 24. Interesting. Not a very smart thing for Barry to say if he actually said this. Well, look, I don't like the media either, but what the media generally does not do is literally lie about direct quotes. There's too many people that were in that room. So tells Shedeur and Watson he has little confidence in them. I think that tells you they don't have a lot of confidence in Shedeur or Deshaun at all. Wait a minute. Is he saying they were going to draft Simpson at 24? Yes. Sounds like they were in on him if he made it to 24. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, Sanders fans said Cleveland media was making things up and the Browns weren't interested in anyone because Shedeur Sanders was the guy. There was Cleveland media that kept saying, watch for Simpson at 24. I mean, honestly, Ty isn't better than Shedeur. Stop it. I can't even. I can't even acknowledge it. That's just stop. That's when people start embarrassing themselves. Like I said, Ty Simpson, first 8 or 9 games last year, better than Fernando Mendoza. So, if I'm being honest, and I've told you guys, I'm rooting for Shedeur. Like, if he pulls it off, if he wins that job and he does well, awesome. Awesome. I'm not rooting against him. Now, you guys know I've been honest. I'm not rooting for Deshaun Watson. You can believe that. Oh, well, you must not like the off-the-field stuff and the personal blah, blah, blah. You damn right. I hate it. And I don't want to have to cover him. I don't want to have to watch him. I don't want to have to do any of that shit. I think he's a scumbag. So that alone has got me rooting for Shedeur to pull one off. But, and if Dylan Gabriel wins the job, okay, I don't think the ball be going down the field much deep, but you get my point. But if I was to compare the prospects, I'm going to be honest. I got Ty Simpson, Carson Beck, and Garrett Nussmeier all ahead of Shedeur Sanders. And hell, Garrett went in the 7th round. Now, most people believe that's because of that injury. But you get my point. Carson went in the 3rd round at the very beginning. Now, do I like Shedeur more than I like Drew Aller? Yeah, I do. So, there's that. Although Aller's got a stronger arm, and it's not close. But you get my point. I'm not rooting against the kid. I'm not. But that tells you right there from somebody that was in the room and had a conversation, got a direct quote, that when Ty was selected, that told them who their next pick at 24 was going to be. It provided that player, which was Casey Concepcion, was still on the board. And evidently Andrew had his plan worked out because he had already heard that the Rams were taking Ty Simpson, as per Jimmy Haslam. So the rest of that tells you how close to the vest these GMs play this shit, because the other people in the room didn't know the Rams thing was happening. Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam did. So, anyway. And if you got designs on taking a player if he's there, you want to know what the competition is doing, which makes me wonder, what was Monty Ossenfort doing exactly? Because Ty was their guy. But I have a feeling Arizona gave up on their guy when they realized the Rams were going to take him at 13. Because I wouldn't have taken Ty at 13. 24? Probably. Yeah. Probably. Steelers, 21? Probably. 3? Was Arizona 3? No, I wouldn't have taken him at 3. I probably wouldn't have taken him at 13, but, yeah. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.